Gaston. Mrs. Poodle admired her new puppies, Fifi, Fufu, Oolala, and Gaston. Would you like to see them again? Fifi, Fufu, Oolala, and Gaston. Perfectly precious, aren't they? Mrs. Poodle thought so too. The puppies grew as puppies do. They were no bigger than teacups. The fourth, however, continued to grow and grow until he was the size of the teapot. Mrs. Poodle took pride in teaching her puppies how to be proper pooches. They were taught to sip, never slobber. Good, well done, very nice, nice try. They were taught to yip, never yap. Yip, 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 roof. And they were taught to walk with grace, never race. Tip-toe, tippy-toe. Whoa! The puppies were also taught how to look pretty in pink, nibble the kibble, and write in style. Whatever the lesson, Gaston always worked the hardest, practiced the longest, and smiled the biggest. Mrs. Poodle was very pleased with all her puppies, Fifi, Fufu, Oolala, and Gaston. Spring arrived and the proud mother was eager to show her darlings. She took them in the park for their very first stroll in public. There was much to see. Daffodil Duckling's dogs. Oh dear, what do we have? Rocky, Ricky, Bruno, and Antoinette? Would you like to see them again? Rocky, Ricky, Bruno, and Antoinette. They were more than a little awkward. The mother sized up the pups. The pups sized up to one another. It seems there have been terrible mistake, Mrs. Bulldog said, breaking the silence. Oi, oi! Mrs. Poodle agreed sadly. Whatever shall we do? Mrs. Bulldog could not come up with an answer. I guess we'll let them decide, she replied at last. Gaston and Antoinette were young, but even they could see there had been a mix-up. The two puppies began to circle around the group. Gaston walked the grace, Antoinette race, Gaston yup, Antoinette yap. And they were finally getting to stop the puppies. Had traded places. There, that looked right. It just didn't feel right. That evening, Antonia tried to fit with her new sisters, but she did not anything proper or precious or pink. On the other side of the town, Gaston tried to fit with his new brothers, but he didn't like anything brutish or brawny or brown. Antonia and Gaston weren't the only ones who were having a hard time to adjust. The next morning, Mrs. Poodle forgot all had been proper and raced back to the park. Mrs. Bulldog was already there working her burly brood. It seems we made a terrible mistake, she nearly shouted. Oi, oi! Mrs. Poodle agreed happily. That time Gaston and Antoinette wasted no time trading places. There, that looked right, and I felt right too. From that day forward, the families met in the park every afternoon to play. Rocky, Ricky, Bruno, and Antoinette taught the Bruno puppies a thing or two about being tough. Likewise, Fifi, Fufu, Oolala, and Gaston taught the Bulldog puppies a thing or two about being tender. And many years later, when Gaston and Antoinette fell in love and had puppies of their own, they taught them to be whatever they want to be. The end.